I'm Debbie Fischetti.
And I'm Megan Rothschild.
Welcome to Skin Talk, brought to you by the Melanoma Education Foundation, a show focused on melanoma awareness, true facts of what skin cancer really is, and how to get educated about it.
On today's show, we want to talk to you about ways to decrease stress.
And what does decreasing stress have to do with melanoma? Well, you have to stay tuned to find out.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We have yet another great show in store for you today. We have Leanne Sedlak, owner of Skin Catering. She's a spray tan massage therapist.
Yeah. A woman of many talents.
Yes, seriously.
We're going to be talking about getting a regular massage can actually improve your overall health, particularly if you're recovering from cancer.
Absolutely.
I also want to talk about misdiagnosis.
Happens all too often.
Unfortunately, I really swear there has to be once a day, you know, if I'm in the supermarket, the post office, the gym, or whatever, that, you know, gets into the conversation about, you know, what I do, or, oh, I saw you on the show, or the conversation goes into melanoma. And this one lady today at the gym was telling me her experience and that she was misdiagnosed. So that's definitely, you know.
Happens all the time. I get the same thing. When I go out and I give presentations, people come up and they'll always point out, you know, the scar. Well, see this, you know, for 3 months my doctor told me it was fine, and then I finally went and had it removed. I demanded to have it removed. But
then there's the unfortunate mishap where there are people that I talk to that didn't get so fortunate at getting the misdiagnosis. Even though they were misdiagnosed, they were living to tell about it. There's so many, unfortunately, in what we do that the story doesn't have that happy ending, and they've lost their lives because of misdiagnosis. So that's definitely something that we're going to touch deeper on later in the show. And the myth about the sun and vitamin D. Yes, it does provide vitamin D, but
it doesn't mean you need to overindulge in the sun, right?
Yeah, but some people feel you do.
I know.
You know,
lots to talk about.
Yeah. So
you said you found an article, right, about misdiagnosis that you wanted to share?
Yeah. Let's go into the misdiagnosis part. The Doctors Company, TDC, is the largest physician-owned professional liability insurance company in the United States, and it insures more than 1,100 pathologists who practice in every state.
Okay.
Therefore, claims should be representative of problems occurring in many pathology practices. So is
this talking about people suing for?
Yes.
Okay.
It says, search of all claims reported to DDC from 1990 through 2001, which revealed that 8.6% of pathology claims were based on, cancerous, just sort of malpractice, they felt was malpractice type of things.
Right.
But claims for 14.2% were dermatology claims that were skin cancer and or melanoma.
So 14% of people had a melanoma that was misdiagnosed as benign.
Right. Out of 1,100.
Wow.
So 14% out of, because it says that, you know, the United States insures more, you know, like about 1,100. So, yeah.
That's, you know, that upsets me because here we are, you know, every show we talk about going to the dermatologist, getting checked on a regular basis, but there's still,
but that's why the education part of it is important as to what we do.
The
ABC, knowing yourself, empowering yourself. Not saying that the doctors out there are bad, because it says that the misdiagnosis of melanoma continues to be a major cause of malpractice claims filed against pathologists and dermatologists. While specific problems, lesions were identified, many claims involve the classic melanoma misdiagnosis.
Wow.
You know, as like, oh, well, it doesn't, you know, look right.
Well, it's exactly what happened when I went in with the mole on my stomach. And, I talk about this when I go out and I give presentations all the time. It's like the point that I hit home. I went in, showed the doctor, and she said, I think it's fine. I think you're fine. You don't have to get it removed. And it was me who said, no, I'm demanding that. You really have to demand, and it's too bad that you have to be like that. But if you have something on your skin that's changed or it fits any of the ABCDEs, you have to just demand that you have it removed.
Right, and there was another article that I had come across where it says there's no excuse for not giving a thorough inspection of any growth on the skin. It is the responsibility of the doctor to determine whether any moles, growths, or changes of the skin condition are
suspicious.
Suspicious.
Right, and I think that's another good point to talk about how you have to see a dermatologist once a year. You can't just go to your PCP. And again, like you were saying, nothing against PCPs.
No.
You know, doctors are fantastic, but dermatologists that's what they're here to do. They've specialized in skin. So you really need to see a dermatologist once a year.
Right, and to question. You have the right to go to a dermatologist that you have never been there before. It might have taken you 3 months to get there.
Right.
But to go there, and if there's something that you don't feel comfortable with, there's many times that we go and just you get a gut feeling
or
like
go
somebody
see another
rubs you the wrong way.
dermatologist,
Right,
too.
or get another opinion.
Get a second
it's
opinion.
a little bit more effort on our hands. Unfortunately,
Right.
health, you know, insurances, they may only allow you to see one.
Right.
I mean, there is a little bit of a fight for it, but this is your health, people.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run if you let,
you pay $30
as opposed to let something
the first
go.
visit for a copay.
Then
You
you're
may
looking
have to
at
shell out
surgery.
$150 for the next visit
Right.
because the insurance doesn't cover it. It may take like, you know, 2 or 3 hours between the 2 appointments.
Right.
I mean, it is. It's aggravating. It's frustrating. We've all been there. We know it. But in the end, it is your life.
Better
And
alternative.
the whole thing is educating yourself.
Right.
You know, knowing what to ask the doctor. You know, and just outright saying, I want it removed. Regardless of what you feel like it is, I want it removed and I want it,
Right.
you know, biopsied.
Absolutely.
You know, or tested. And, you know, knowing what's on your body, knowing if there's change. So that's the whole thing about empowering yourself.
Right.
And then you could be your own, you know,
Advocate
and, you know, give yourself a diagnosis, which you can.
Right,
You really
absolutely.
can. In this particular cancer, you can. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Bottom
that just
line,
bothered me.
Be aggressive.
Yes.
And speaking of vitamin D.
Yeah. Now, when you speak in schools, I speak in schools. You're more in the college, you know, end of things.
Right.
I'm in the high school and the middle schools. That's
Yep.
what gives us such a great team.
Yeah.
We're getting every angle.
We compliment each other.
Yeah. So when you, because I've been there and I've heard you speak at colleges, and when you talk about, we never say don't go in the sun. We never
Right.
say bubble yourself up and wear a hat and long sleeve shirts.
Moderation.
Which, you know, really doesn't hurt. You could look quite stylish doing it. But, you know,
Good.
we can't
This
live
is
in a
true.
bubble. But what is the typical remark from students
Well, I think
when you talk about this? I mean,
I think there's a couple angles. First and foremost, people will say, well, my tanning salon tells me that I need to come every day or every week to get my vitamin D. So there's that. And then there's, well, you know, I don't want to be vitamin D deficient, so what do I do? And there's so many healthy alternatives and easy ways to get vitamin D. I take a vitamin D supplement every day because, let's face it, we're in New England and the sun is not here for 7, 8 months out of the year.
The sun, let me take it as much as I can before it goes away.
Everyone in New England is vitamin D deficient. It's just, let's face it, you have to take a vitamin D supplement. And then you can eat things like fish and drink orange juice and milk and all that.
Right.
And, you know, it's just,
Right.
and like you said, 2 to 3 times a day, 10 minutes a day, unprotected sun is enough to get, what is it, like 30,000 IUs of vitamin D. So
you don't need to lay out there for hours.
Right.
And yet there's so much information out there, people, and
There's
that's
a
why we're
lot
here
of
to do
info.
what research we can to share it with you, because you may not know where to look. Sometimes we don't know where to look, but we
Right.
come across stuff because it's, you know, in the nature of what we do. But in Town and Country, there was an article about a young girl, 19 years old.
This is an incredible story because I feel like it happens to a lot of young
Right.
women who are diagnosed.
Right, exactly. And, you know, and well, you were even the one who was sharing with me about it.
Well, yeah, she was diagnosed, or they thought she had melanoma.
Yes, it was.
And did it end up? It ended up being, they thought a stage 4, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't a stage 4.
Right.
And no, again, a misdiagnosis.
Right, and she became so petrified of the sun and being out in UV exposure that she would
Actually
flinch.
Yes, every time the sun would come out.
Yep, so she completely hid her head away from it and
Right.
ended up becoming vitamin D deficient. And actually, I think there's somewhere in here that it gave her another actual problem, which I cannot. She was going to get a colonoscopy, and they found ulcerative colitis.
Yes.
And that can be caused by a lack of vitamin D. So we run into this issue, this conflict of, I want to protect myself from the sun. I don't want to get skin cancer. I don't want to get melanoma. But now I've just gone to the, you know, the other end, and now I'm vitamin D deficient. I'm having issues with bone, and you know, having other problems that can be caused by vitamin D deficiency. So it's a balance.
Or people feel like, oh, if I put the sunblock on, not to
Right.
go into another subject, but not the sunblock on. Oh, well, I'm going to get something because of the chemicals.
Because
or
of the
whatever
chemicals in the sunblock.
In the
right.
sunblock. I mean,
there's all sorts of concerns.
Right. You don't want to be in a bubble, but you have to take a balance to it.
Right.
Yeah, she says that there was a good thing here that, you know, obviously that there's nothing wrong with having good levels of vitamin D, but there's no need to go out into the sun to get it. I mean, for hours and hours and hours.
Right.
There has to be a balance to that. There has to be a balance, you know, to when you consider, you know, putting lotion on.
Right.
You know, there has to be a balance to, you know, having too much vitamin D or not too much vitamin D. So again, it's all about education, being aware of these things, being aware that, you know, doctors can misdiagnose, being aware that, you know, yes, even though it's good, it's vitamin D and being in the sun.
There is too much. There is such thing as too much sun.
yeah, or too much of a good thing.
Right, exactly.
Depends on what you're talking about. But in this case, it could be not good.
But there's not too much of a good massage. That's my motto.
Endless. You could have
every day if I could afford it. Someday, right?
Yes, which is a nice leadway into our guest, Leanne.
Leanne Sedlak coming on.
Yep, and
I'm excited.
Yep, and stay tuned because we're going to show you
a live massage.
A live massage, yes. So you don't want to miss it.
Welcome back. We have Leanne here from Skin Catering.
Thank you so much for coming back.
It's like a regular now.
I know. I love to be here with you ladies.
So you are going to do a live massage on Robert here, our brave audience member.
Participant, yes.
Has decided he's
you got
brave.
the lucky number under his seat.
Right, exactly.
He thought he was winning a prize.
I say brave. He is winning a prize. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
I'd rather
he is
be at
getting
the
a
table.
great massage.
Oh, I guess I'll do it. Okay.
Exactly. Pulling his arm. So walk
I think
us
he's already
through.
sleeping.
Walk us through how you start this massage.
Okay. The first thing that you would do when you came into my office, we would have a little discussion beforehand. We would talk about if you've had a massage before, because if you haven't, one thing that we do at Skin Catering is actually walk you through what the entire massage will entail.
That's good.
So you're
for
not
people
laying
who are
there
unsure.
going, what's she
gonna
going to do
happen
next?
next?
What part of the
Exactly.
body is she going to be touching next?
There
And things
is a
like
lot
that.
of
Anxiety.
viewers who get anxiety. They want something relaxing for themselves, but they do have fear of somebody touching their body.
Right.
They do have fear of what type of environment is it going to be in.
Right.
I mean, typically, you know, obviously we're doing this on the show, so you would be in a setting that is dimmed.
A little bit less lighting.
Yes. Soft music.
Less people and cameras.
You know, and you know, the sheets, are they heated or warm?
In the winter time, our table is heated so that it's nice and cozy, and you're under a nice heavy blanket.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole thing that we even brought the massage on the show, if you're just tuning in, and how this contributes to melanoma
Wellness
and you know, and the wellness, and it brings a healthier aspect to your life. There's, you know, we're always doing research because we want to make sure that we always bring you the proper facts. And, you know, being diagnosed with cancer, it's the most
So stressful.
horrific experience in anybody's life. I mean, I have gone through it on the aspect of seeing loved ones and family members gone through it. You've gone through it directly. So you can't even question, and I'm sure you viewers know, the horrifying loss of sleep, the stress, the anxiety, the surgeries and all that.
Massage can
That's the whole
help that,
thing.
right?
Absolutely.
The research, talking with you, everywhere that we've gone states that, yes, massage is a huge stress reducer, and it builds up the immune system, because obviously you're stressed, then your immune system is being torn down and broken apart. But by doing things such as this that will boost the immune system and keep you in a relaxed state, brings it back up to the level that it needs to be in order for your system to fight the diseases and things that it's going through.
Why don't you get started?
Yes.
He's going to be he wants in on this. You can tell.
What I do first with my clients is we just warm up the muscles first, because with the trigger points, you know, that's the stressors and all of that. When you're hitting those, you want to make sure the muscles are warmed up first.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to do more damage than good.
And you know, I've had a massage by you, and it's so funny, your hands are always warm. I don't know how you do it, but I'm always nervous because my hands are always cold. I'm cold all the time, but you always have nice warm hands, very soothing.
Thank you. We, our secret is we have a heater that we warm. No, I'm just kidding.
You carry the little pocket
That's
warmers. Right. So Leanne, massage, I was doing some research, and I know we talked about it on the last show a little bit, but massage can actually, you know, we talked about it increasing wellness, increase happiness by releasing feel-good hormones. That's true?
Absolutely. Yes. It actually affects the endocrine system, which is responsible for the hormones. So when you're in a good mood, bad mood, any of that.
I need to take it a couple of times a day then.
When I'm not in a bad mood, Monday through Friday.
I'm always happy.
No, that's great. And it can increase your rest that your body gets. Is that true, just by relaxing you?
See that.
Yeah.
True.
Can you come over? Like, let me see. I go to bed usually about 10 o'clock.
Right? I know.
One of the things we do with at Skin Catering is we have mobile massage, and we specialize in busy people. So we actually
You do?
set up appointments.
Yes.
Instead of a warm cup of milk, I'll just have warm hand
cup of
Leanne.
hands.
Exactly. Exactly.
How's this feeling, Robert?
Oh, it's amazing.
He's half
With
asleep.
all our gabbing, I'm surprised. He's zoning out.
I know, exactly. You do zone out when you get this. It's just an incredible feeling.
And typically when you get the massage, we won't be standing there
Right.
asking you questions.
Exactly.
But,
So no, this is great. I mean, I think it's important for viewers who may, you know, be going through, whether it's a family diagnosis of cancer or a self-diagnosis of cancer, to know that you can treat yourself to something like
and
this.
not be scared of it.
Right.
Try it.
And
Go
it can actually
and
help.
Right.
You relax.
And that was another thing too on the research that we were doing as far as going to a massage therapist. Now, obviously, you know, we're a true advocate of Leanne and her services.
Well,
and
you can
could
go
vouch
to
for
her, or she can come to you.
or
so
she can come
it's
to
perfect.
you. But for those who may not live in the vicinity of
Right.
where Leanne could travel to, it is wise to, you know, question the massage therapist and to make sure that if you are undergoing, you know, radiation or some
Chemo
type
or
of
something.
chemo, or if you are just, you know, recovering, you know, or a survivor of, you know, melanoma, it is just good to question the professionalism
And to talk to your doctor.
and to talk to your doctor.
That's
yeah.
important,
That's
too.
just always something that we like to throw out there. And we know you're wonderful,
Yeah.
but sometimes there are people who are skeptical and.
Your viewers can actually go to a site, abmp.com. It's where we are licensed for and insured by,
excellent.
and look up massage therapists in their area.
That's great. And now speaking of, you know, we were talking about something you can do when you're going through treatment. Affordability, though, is another, I
Yes.
think, hot button issue for folks.
Because we tease and say, you know, if we could afford it,
Right.
we would love to have this.
But
every
here's
day,
the
'cause we know
thing.
how relaxing it is.
We can afford it, because tell us about Massage Monday.
Massage Monday is something that I created as a way to, you know, give massage affordability for people.
Right.
I went to massage school on a scholarship, and so I, you know, very low cost for me. So as a way to give back, I started Massage Monday. So you make an appointment for in our office, and you get a 60-minute massage for what you can afford. So
That's
you can
fantastic.
budget for yourself.
That's awesome.
It's wonderful. And you can
That's
actually find
awesome.
more information about that at skincatering.com, and it'll be on skintalk.org too.
That's
so.
nice, because I mean, it's true. I mean, massage for an hour, it's like $100 or more.
Well,
or $80 or,
Yeah.
or, you know, $60.
Depends on where you're going, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's awesome
This
to
is
know
great.
that they can get the wellness that they need
Right.
for something that they can afford.
Can afford, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Liam, for coming on. Thank you,
welcome.
Robert. I say thank you, but I'm actually jealous. No, I think this is great, and you know, and we also want to thank Bobby from Brush Salon.
For
He
zhuzhing.
actually zhuzhed us today.
Yes.
He did our hair and makeup, and All About Me
Yes.
dressed us in Hamden, so we just continue to have fantastic supporters. And we also want to thank Portraits by Neil as well for doing some photos for us. So
Yes, which you'll see on our website as well. And any of those out there who would like to continue to support the work that we do, you know, it's a nonprofit, you know, effort and create more awareness. You know, sponsorships, donations are always welcome. So please contact us at
Send us an email.
skintalk.org and
Absolutely.
send us an email.
And stay tuned, my tip of the week is actually coming up.
So how's your skin doing?
you need to find out with Skin Talk. So check your local listings for when we air, or visit skintalk.org for more info.
Keep watching. Welcome back. It was great having Leanne on.
I know, she's so knowledgeable. We learned so much about massage.
It was actually nice to see a live massage. Obviously, I've gotten them. I
Right.
don't get them hardly ever. But you're on the bed with your face in the...
Right, you don't get to see what's going on your back.
You don't actually see like the trigger points that they're getting on the back, you know, and how the person's, you know, becoming really relaxed.
Right.
So, you know, to our viewers out there, if any of you have not had a massage, hopefully this was a nice insight or enticed you to want to get one.
Yes.
So, so yeah, it was really nice to have her. She really knows her stuff, you're right.
She does, and I have my tip of the week, which actually Leanne gave me a little bit of pointers on that, which was great. So I tried this new sunless tanner, which is fantastic, but my friend actually tried it before I did, and she said, make sure you use the glove. Now, I've been using sunless tanners for about 1,000,000 years, and I've never used a glove. And I've always had, you know, maybe like a little bit of issue, but I always wash my hands right away. I do it in between applications, or, you know, do my arms, then I wash my hands. But this glove is, I'm never gonna go back.
So now would you spray it on the glove?
Yep, you pump it right onto the glove.
Okay.
And the glove, it actually
sort of like
helps. Yeah, you don't really need to. It really actually helped make everything kind of even out. And Leanne was telling me that the reason that your hands, the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet turn orange is because there's no amino acids.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, so I never knew that.
Another tip.
Another tip. So it's kind of like a twofold tip.
I guess the amino acid within your skin is what sort of soaks up the tan.
So my tip is you can actually buy this glove. You don't have to buy the glove and the sunless tanner together. You can just purchase the glove at Sephora or any beauty shop. Saint-Tropez.
Saint-Tropez.
Yeah, which was a fantastic sunless tanner.
Perfect.
So use gloves.
Non-orange.
You don't have to fear sunless tanning and having your hands become orange. You can just use a glove. It looks great.
And it would just seem easy, just like when you're putting on lotion out of the shower and you're coming out with a nice little
this actually has a nice smell to it, so you don't have to worry about that either, because some people are always concerned about the
to certain
smell.
things and get headaches.
So.
But perfect.
Yeah. So we have emails.
We have a lot of emails.
Lots of emails.
Yes. So there was one in particular that that I wanted to share. It was there's actually a few. I mean, viewers,
keep them coming.
Thank you. We have New Mexico. We have California. We have Pennsylvania.
Wow.
I mean, really, we're getting out there.
Domestically well known.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes. So thank you for your support and letting us know all the positive feedback that you're getting from the show and the questions and stuff that you have. So I would like to share this one that is actually from New Mexico. And she says that I'm a physical education and health teacher at Rio Rancho High School in New Mexico. And last year, my mother noticed a mole on my arm and made a dermatologist appointment for me and got it checked out. The exact same week I had this appointment is when I decided to do a health unit on melanoma and used the Melanoma Education Foundation's Skin Check educational program that the school nurse had previously ordered. And then, which is
ironic.
Weird. But, you know, hey, things happen for a reason.
Exactly.
While I was in the third period and the video was playing in the DVD player, I got the call from my dermatologist explaining to me that I had 2 melanoma moles and I needed surgery. Fortunately, I was stage 1 and they were both successfully removed with 2 4-inch scars, and my students were able to watch me firsthand go through what happened when my melanoma occurs.
Wow.
It was a reality check, not only for me, but for my kids. And the majority of my students had their parents make dermatologist appointment that week.
Love that.
So she was really able to explain to her students the importance of checking your skin, knowing what was on your skin.
Watch her go through the process. That's pretty.
Exactly, which is, you know, good and not good, but good in the sense that she was okay from it.
Right.
But also good for the students, and not that you'd want this to happen, but good that, you know, if somebody did unfortunately get diagnosed with it, that they could see firsthand.
Right.
You know, it's almost like those commercials where you see to get the reality home about cigarette smoking and not to smoke. Sometimes the point gets hit so much so that it makes you like a car crash. You don't want to look,
you don't want to look, but you can't look away.
Exactly, exactly. You know, so she just went on to say that, you know, the importance of sunscreen and sunblock.
Education.
And that she has passed along this information to offer to other teachers, other schools, and plans on teaching the program as long as her career is. So,
love it.
And she was very, very thankful for you know, our show and for the information that the Melanoma Education Foundation has brought about.
That's great. We've got another one here, men. That was the
That's
subject.
always a nice subject.
Men. No, this person actually wants us to talk a little bit about men, about how a lot of times they have shaved heads, and actually melanoma.
Or hair on their.
Yep.
Like a lot.
Yep.
Of
Exactly. Hair. And it's actually one of the most common forms, neck and head. For men to get diagnosed with melanoma. And she also was talking about how men don't get spray tans, they go tanning. If they're going to try to obtain a tan, they go tanning. So I think that was a good point to talk about how, you know, sometimes we talk about getting spray tans and moisturizing, and all these tips, they work for men too. Like, men shouldn't be going tanning just as much as women shouldn't be going tanning. I mean, obviously we see more women going tanning among the, you know, late teen, early 20 age group.
I think a lot of the bodybuilders, you know, they're obsessive with whether it be regular tan or tanning beds.
Well, and look at Jersey Shore. I mean, we've got Jersey Shore phenomenon, gin tan laundry. So we do have more men going tanning. We actually, I came across a study, and I don't know the exact statistics, but in New Jersey they did a survey, and they found that more teenage boys were actually going tanning. The women had stopped due to all the education and all the focus we put on educating women, that the men hadn't really been getting the message, and they had started using the tanning
and
booze.
It's the biggest killer in men because, you know, I always thought
they don't pay attention.
They don't. They're just, you know, like the girl that I was talking to today again about the gym and was misdiagnosed. It doesn't hurt, it didn't itch. She didn't think anything about it. You know, it wasn't to the push of somebody else that said, hey, why don't you get that checked out?
Right.
You know, so it's more so, I think, with men. Women notice it because it's like, oh, this doesn't look right. I want to do something about it. But men are like, I'm not, you know.
Yeah, I'll deal with it later.
Right, and that's what's hard. But
exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have another one that she says that she is a melanoma survivor of 2 years. And she says their heart is racing right now, having just had the TV on. And saw our show.
This is a great email.
And she says that I need to get more involved. The shock I experienced 2 years ago is still with me. And the first thing I did was sit down with, she had 3 children, they're adult age now, but she sat right down with them and her husband to speak and to educate on their skin and the sun, and needs more information on how to get more involved, especially in the schools. So she was very passionate and very appreciative of that we are speaking about it.
That's great.
You know, that we were out there, and through our show, she, you know, got onto the link to the Melanoma Education Foundation,
found out how to
was
volunteer
able to volunteer and to be able to find out more information about our education that is in the middle schools and high schools.
That's great.
You know, we're in 50 states now.
That's wonderful.
So
it's awesome.
Very, very excited about that. Over 1,000 schools and in 50 states, our skin check program is being facilitated.
Want to do one more?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one actually caught me because I'll read it. I just wanted to comment and say that I came across your show a few months ago and I love all the information on it. I used to be a sun worshiper until I was diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma in 2005 and again in 2011. I do know some people who have been diagnosed with melanoma, and it's very scary. Thank you for bringing all this information. So I think it's important to note that we talk a lot about melanoma, but there are 2 other types of skin cancer. There's basal cell and there's squamous cell.
Right.
And melanoma is the deadliest form of all the skin cancers, but it's important to know that there are other types of skin cancer, and those can look very different from what a melanoma can look like. So,
and I think we should make a segment of that for next week's show to just sort of, and we'll provide pictures and charts.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So that way you could see, well, this is what a melanoma, I mean, even though a melanoma can look different on everybody, there's the ABCDs of what a melanoma is, but basal cells and squamous cells and all those can turn into it if not, you know, taken care of.
And they can grow completely out of control, and they can cause all sorts of disfiguring scars and all sorts of problems.
We're not trying to freak everybody out and be like, oh, every little thing could that. There is certain guidelines of what a melanoma is. There are certain guidelines of what the basal cells and stuff like that are. In either case, they should all be checked. They should all be
when in doubt, see a derm.
monitored. Exactly. So yes, we'll make a part on that for next show. So thank you, everybody, for your fine emails. We'll be reading, you know, more next show, and please keep them coming. If you would like an overview of today's show, share your story, gain more tips, have questions, find out when Skin Talk will be airing next, visit us at skintalk.org.
Or you can email us at info@skintalk.org. Thanks for watching.